I'm Bill FitzPatrick. I'm age 80. I want you to be 80, and I want you to be healthy and wealthy when you get there. Let's start with do what you know you should be doing. So nothing I say is really, oh my God, lightning is coming down. No, what I'm telling you is what you already know, which is basically common sense, okay? You have to say, if I'm going to be 80, I'm not starting at 79 and say, shit, I got to catch up to be 80. No, the earlier that you start thinking of the end in mind, thinking about being 80 and in your 80s and getting to 90, the better off you will be. So if you're in your 20s, yeah, if you have bad habits, acknowledge what your bad habits are: drugs, smoking, being stupid. Generally being stupid. Okay. Then you have to correct those things. You have to have a good diet. What's a good diet? Well, you don't need me to tell you that. You got Trainer Joe, you got all kinds of good people who are on YouTube who can give you a lot of good nutrition advice. Take the advice. In other words, do what you know you should be doing, eat what you know you should be eating. Then you got to exercise, okay? So I'm 80 years old. I go to the gym, Planet Fitness, whatever it is, $10 a month, okay? Nothing fancy, but it gets the job done, and I like it there. 5 days a week, I go onto a machine for 40 minutes. So maybe I'll do 20 minutes on the treadmill, 20 minutes on the bike. Maybe I'll do all of it on one, but I'm on a machine for 40 minutes, and then I do 20 minutes of strength exercises. So, I'm either lifting weights, I probably do that one day, lifting weights, barbells, or I'm going to work on the resistance machines. So that's another 20 minutes. So that's what I'm doing. What I'm doing, can you do? Absolutely. And I make sure that I do my 10,000 steps a day. So what I'm saying to you is you should have one of these pedometers, which you can buy for whatever, $20 or less on Amazon. Just throw that in your pocket and then make sure that you're doing your 10,000 steps a day. If you have an Apple device, the Apple device can count your steps, and you can use that as a pedometer. So this is the healthy portion, okay? And at the same time, you have to have mental health. So in other words, you got to take care of yourself mentally. That means, you got to be reading, and you have to be a calm person. What you're trying to be is a tough, thoughtful, spiritual person of action, okay? There's a lot of a lot of people who get on our face every day, and we have to think about, come on, I have to take a deep breath and I have to deal with this person, okay? So there's a lot of people who we have to box breathe, 3 in, 3 hold, 3 out, 4 in, whatever. Box breathing, or we have to breathe when we're dealing with them, okay? I'm angry, okay, I'm going to breathe, Is this personal, what's happening to me? Is it permanent, what happened? Otherwise, I'm going to let this go. So it's physically, I want to be ready, and mentally, I want to be ready. Now, I'm talking about this more than I'm talking about the wealthy part, because the wealthy part is actually the easiest thing you can do. I'm going to tell you exactly what to do, which I've told 1,000 times. I'm going to say it another 1,000 times. And that is all you have to do to become wealthy, to create generational wealth, is to buy a couple of investment condos, 2, 3, 4 investment condos, okay? You start with one, you deal in a small specific investment area, become an expert on values in that area, make offers, and, you buy a condo. What is it, What's the cost? 200,000. What do I need for a down payment? Do I need 20,000? Do I need 40? You know, whatever it is, you go to the bank, you talk to them, you find out what you need. They say, you have to have a credit score of at least 650, you know, whatever they're telling you. Okay, they're telling you exactly what you have to do to get that condo, all right? So you can live in the condo for 2 years, rent it out, buy another condo, and that can be your plan. Or you could be some very I don't know who the hell you are. You could be a very successful person right now, okay? You could be, you know, a lawyer or an accountant or, you know, a cop making $100,000 a year, a teacher making $100,000 a year. All right, so it's going to be easier for you to go and to make that down payment, whatever it is, it doesn't matter. You know, when you're in your 20s, I don't feel sorry for you if you aren't working 50 hours a week. So if you got to work 40 hours a week to pay your bills, work another 10 hours, either overtime or a side hustle of another 10 hours to get your down payment. Okay, that's what you have to do. My job is to help you to the best of your ability become wealthy and healthy in old age. So you got to start as early, you know, if you do this in your 20s, your 30s, you know, but even if you're in your 50s, even if you're in your 60s, okay, start and get it done. Can you do this when you're 60, 65? Yes, you can still do this. You can still buy those investment condos and you can start taking care of yourself, okay? You know, if you got to take the shots and get the weight down and get to the gym, you know, you do what you have to do, but 99% of this is you already know what to do. If you do your research in real estate and you see what condos cost 20 years ago, 30 years ago, 10 years ago, I mean, you know, you're going to say, who the hell am I listening to telling me not to do this? This is the smartest thing that I could possibly do. So do that. Then you have these wonderful people called tenants who give you money every month to pay off the money that you borrow. And these poor people, we love our tenants. I mean, I'm going to call them poor people. We love our tenants because they're giving between 25 and 60% of their take-home pay to a landlord. And if you're the condos, and you know, then you're the landlord. And you know, come on. What kind of a secret is this? The secret is there is no secret because I've told you exactly what to do. So you want to be healthy and wealthy in your old age. Subscribe to me. Get this in your mindset, okay? I'm going to be healthy and wealthy into old age, all right? And I'm going to work with the Bill FitzPatrick, and, you know, I'm going to subscribe to the Bill FitzPatrick Network. I'm going to comment, and I'm going to make all of this work. Yeah, that's what you're going to do.